Frank. My name is Frank Grimes, and my wife is Peggy. We have been married for 20 years, and we have 2 children, Mike and Emma. I'm returning home after taking Emma, our youngest, to university. I'm looking forward to getting home and finally talking to my wife about her experiences over the past 12 years. Her most recent affair is the most serious, because now that our children are gone, she is determined to leave me for her lover. I'm just turning onto our street and I see our house. The light is on, which means she's home. I pull into our driveway, get out of the car, open the front door, and walk in. My wife is sitting on the couch looking a little scared. I don't know why. I've never even raised my voice to her, let alone raised my hand to her. She looks at me and shifts her gaze to 2 suitcases standing just outside the door. I look at them too. Peggy Frank left to take Emma to her first year at university. I'm sitting on the sofa waiting for my lover to pick me up. My suitcases are packed, and I left Frank a note telling him that I'm leaving him for another man, but my lover is late. I'm worried what will happen if Frank comes home first. My lover is just the latest in a string of lovers I've had over the past 12 years, but this one is special, and we are in love. I think back to the last 12 years and the lovers I've had. My first lover was my tennis coach at the country club. He was so attentive and caring that it was a big shock for me when he left without even saying goodbye. A work colleague was next, and on a work-related trip to New York, we had a little too much drinking and I woke up in his bed. At first I was angry with myself, but then I thought, why not? No one will find out. This affair lasted for more than 2 years, always on company trips, and sometimes in his office when we worked late. Then, one day, he simply didn't show up for work, and there were rumors that he had run off with a girl half his age who had disappeared at the same time. After that, there was an old friend of mine from college. We met by chance at a charity sale. He invited me to lunch and we sat and reminisced about our college fling. Lunch ended at a motel where we fucked all day. This went on for 6 months, and then one day he just didn't show up at our meeting place anymore. This brings us to my latest lover, Tom. He's my best friend's husband, and we started flirting at a barbecue he and Gina were having. It all started innocently, with a little flirting, then touching, and finally kissing. After that first kiss, we groped each other every chance we got. We had sex both in his bed and in ours. We were insatiable, and then we realized that we were in love and we needed to be together. So I'm sitting here waiting for Tom to pick me up. He's almost half an hour late, and I'm starting to worry that I've been abandoned again. I look at Frank. He looks so calm and in control. It seems like he knows something that I don't. So, Peggy, were you going to just leave with Tom? Or were you going to tell me? He knows about Tom, how he found out. I point to the note on the table with my wedding rings on it. He looks and picks up the paper, throwing my rings onto the floor. I wince at the implied insult. A note. Dear Frank, as you can see, I left you for another man, no matter who. I love him and he loves me. We are going to go far away so you don't have to see me. Please don't try to find me. It will only hurt you more. We had a good marriage and a good time, but over the past couple of years we have grown apart. I truly loved you and I know you loved me, but it's time to say goodbye. Peggy. I watched as Frank read the note and smiled. Then he put the note in his briefcase and turned to me. Thank you for the note. It will make things easier when I divorce you. I won't need to show the video of you cheating on me with Tom. Which video? The one where you and Tom were in our bed having sex like teenagers, disrespecting me and making fun of me. You may remember it was just last Tuesday when you said you were at the spa. You've been following me. How long have you known? From the very beginning, I've been keeping you under surveillance ever since you cheated on me with your tennis coach. I know everything about your lovers. You never said anything. Why? Because you would have told me the usual nonsense. It didn't mean anything. It was just sex. I love only you, and of course the biggest lie is that I won't do it again. You were the one who scared and drove away my lovers, weren't you? What did you do? Threaten them or bribe them? And what about Tom? You bribed him too. Why didn't you just divorce me? because I wanted the children to grow up in a normal family atmosphere, and also in a divorce you would get half of everything I worked for, plus spousal support and child support. I wasn't gonna pay you to fuck your lovers at my expense, so I just got rid of them. Frank, let me tell you a little story. When I was in elementary school, my best friend was a boy named George Vanini. He was a little boy and he was often teased, but I was always there to stand up for him and keep him out of trouble. Instead, I ended up with a black eye and a split lip. Pretty soon, everyone at school realized that messing with him meant messing with me, and it was painful. We remained friends throughout college and remain friends to this day. To make it a little clearer, George's mother's maiden name was Gambini. That Gambini family, you've heard about the family's role on the East Side. George's mother wanted to separate from the family and become law-abiding, so they sent him to public school and college. He graduated in business and law. I graduated with a degree in business and accounting. Much to his mother's dismay, he joined the family firm, and as my investment firm grew, I was hired to handle their firm's investments, giving a veneer of respectability to their investments. In return, I made a lot of money. George also said that if he could do anything for me, all he had to do was say it. Well, when I found out about your professional tennis player, I called George and asked for his advice. He said he could take care of it, and soon the professional tennis player disappeared. Oh my God, you ordered him to be eliminated. I thought she was going to be sick, so I went to the kitchen and brought her a bowl. Yes, and the same thing happened with your second and third lovers. Once you got serious with them, I took care of them so that Mike and Emma would have a mother. If you hadn't started thinking about leaving me, they would still be alive. So it's your fault they're no longer with us. She looked up at me, tears rolling down her face. I guess Tom is dead too. No, I'm very glad that you're leaving me for Tom. The kids are in college now, so they won't need you. Tom is alive and well, for now, and waiting for you to join him. The look on her face was priceless considering the relief she felt. Did she really think that I would admit to killing 3 men and let her live? So why didn't you just let me go with Tom? I pressed the speed dial on my burner phone, and 2 large men walked through the front door. These gentlemen will set you up with Tom, and you can spend the rest of your life with him, knowing that you are responsible for the deaths of your former lovers. Goodbye, Peggy, and I hope you rot in hell. One of the 2 men took Peggy's suitcases, while the other walked Peggy to a waiting car. She didn't say another word. As promised, she spent the rest of her life with Tom, living in his car just long enough to get to the bottom of an old quarry 10 miles out of town. Now they are all together in one place, 1 cheating wife and 4 wife-stealing idiots. I love my life, and I have proof that my loving wife Peggy left me for another man.